Hello, everyone. I am Mandi Rae with OPA, the Organization for Professional Astrology. And today I'm here with Geoff and Linea. Geoff and Linea are awesome. Thank you for being with me here today.
Of course.
So
Yeah.
happy to be here.
And one is on the West Coast, San Mateo, California. That's Linea. One is on the East Coast, residing in Maine. You're traveling right now, but you're residing in Maine, Geoff. And
Yeah.
I'm in the central US, Birmingham, Alabama. And why I'm bringing this up is because Geoff and Linea are going to be teaching astronomy for astrologers at a retreat that OPA is putting on in Park City, Utah at New Park Resorts, October 16th and 17th. Is it through the 18th? It is,
Through the
right?
18th. Yeah.
Through the 18th. It's 3 days. There are speakers, there are tracks, there are peer groups, and one of the things you can do is take astronomy for astrologers. And so when I talk about where we're at, I think of the sky because it looks different to me right now in Alabama than it looks to you, Linea, in California, and then it looks to you, Geoff, on the East Coast. So I brought that up because we're going to share a chart and we're going to talk a little bit about how you can look at a chart and see the sky. So
Awesome.
before I do that, tell me, how do you lay out your class?
The in-person. Well,
Yeah,
we have
Right.
a lot of ideas. We're going to do a lot of in outdoor activities, some craft stuff that Lene's done in the past.
Mhm.
And there's a really beautiful obelisk at the retreat at the hotel that has a solar calendar laid out on a big, huge courtyard. That kind of the shadow of the obelisk points to different spots throughout the year. So that's kind of fun. Lene, you know,
hmm I mean, the advantage of taking the Astronomy for Astrologers class at the conference is that it's in person, okay? Because our normal class is online, and in fact, all of the Astronomy for Astrologers classes that are being offered now, which there are several, are all online. So the key about this is, there's just nothing like, excuse me, but butts in the seat, okay? And you can interact much more directly. We, the teachers, are much more free to gesticulate and to use our bodies in order to demonstrate, principles. And in fact, I anticipate that we will be using our bodies to demonstrate scientific principles, the rotation of planets. How does a full moon operate? How do you know where if you're looking at a chart and you can see the sun, but how does that translate to where that sun actually is in the sky? So our goal for you is really to come away with an embodied understanding and knowledge of the astronomy that will only strengthen and enrich your astrology knowledge and practice.
Yes. And I have to say, I've taken it before. I did an in-person and an online, I think, with Brett. But you guys also, like you said, do an online version. And there one open right now? Yeah,
yeah.
there
It
is one
starts
open.
October. It starts August 31st. It's a 8-week course, and sorry if I'm freezing up here. It's an 8-week course that starts August 31st every Sunday through into the end of October.
Okay, awesome. I just wanted to go ahead and offer that little piece of information. And
Mhm.
speaking of being able to gesticulate and show where things are in the sky, how about I pull up a chart?
Perfect.
We'll pull up the chart for Park City, Utah.
Great.
Maybe
Great.
for what, October
16th,
17th?
17th. Yeah, either
Yeah.
one.
The
Yes,
conference, that would be awesome.
that's right. It's
Yeah.
not it's not like we've talked about this before we started recording, is it? No, not at all. There we go. Okay. So this is the chart for the morning of October 17th. And you guys chose this for a reason because you want to maybe go out in the morning at sunrise.
Yeah, I think this will be our second day of classes. And the classes run, from around 9 a.m. until about 5, 4 or 5, I think. And so we'll get our students out in the morning sky, pre-dawn or pre-sunrise, and to be able to see not just the moon rising in there in the 11th house, but we'll see Venus. Hopefully, it's 20 degrees from the sun, so it might be a
Mhm.
little hard to see unless it's super clear. But we'll see the two brightest objects and the three brightest objects in the sky
Mhm.
besides the sun that morning.
Mhm.
So that'll be
Mhm.
really sweet.
Mhm.
That's
And actually, if you
wonderful.
can do a little trick with your software here, Mandi Rae,
Mhm.
if we could just advance this until the sun is setting. So what we can see in this horoscope, let's go back one. Let's go back to where we started at 7. So we were talking about the sun, and here we can see the sun in this horoscope is in the first house, okay? And if we know that the ascendant is the rising point of the horoscope, then we can ascertain from this chart that the sun has not yet risen. It is not yet over the horizon, and hopefully it will still be dark enough so that we can see the Venus and the Moon and Jupiter. Now, if we went out an hour earlier,
Mhm.
we would, we'll for sure be able to see things. So
Yes,
if
this
we
is the
know
horizon. Yeah.
exactly that, and the horizon, the horizontal angle is, it literally is the horizon. Okay.
Yeah.
It's literally the horizon. So above it, you can see it. Below it, you cannot see it.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
7 o'clock in the morning, the sun is still below the horizon, and that's why it hasn't yet reached the ascendant in this horoscope. So now let's move forward about 12, 13 hours and get that sun on the setting point here.
That's my
Now,
little
see,
stick
Jupiter
man.
has gone down. There goes the
There it
moon.
goes.
Okay, there goes this. Okay, perfect. So that's close enough anyway. So, and even in your mind's eye, now you can take this sun and put it down to where the horizon, is exactly. And now what can we
Oh,
see that's above the horizon? Oh, look at this. I love this little animation.
Perfect.
Oh, software is so great these days. Okay, that's perfect. So the sun is about to go down, and now, same principle. We've got the horizontal axis. Anything that's above it, you can see. Okay, so after the sun goes down on this day, we hopefully will be able to see Mars and Mercury. Although I'm going to tell you from personal experience, it is really hard to see Mercury. Okay,
Yeah.
really hard. Um, and the Mars might even it's going to be questionable whether we can see Mercury and Mars, but maybe with some good vision and some binoculars, we can. But for sure, we'll be able to see Saturn over here in the east. I'm pointing to my easterly, direction here. So for sure, in the evening on this day, we'll be able to see Saturn. So you see the point of doing this, like in person and real life. We're going to go out before the sun rises. What can you see in the sky? And then 13 hours later, we'll go out after the sun sets, and it's like, what can you see in the sky? And of course, it's exactly opposite to what we saw in the morning. So this kind of, hands-on direct exposure to the chart, to the sky, and being able to anchor those things in your mind is a really, that's a firm goal for us, so that you will be able, there's a lot of astronomy that you can discern from just looking at the horoscope, the phase of the moon. Mercury, is never far from the sun. So is it about to go retrograde? Is it about to go to, what the heck is that Mercury doing? And once you get a little bit of practice on this, you can actually tell, what Mercury is just done and what it's about to do. So we really want you to walk away with some hands-on, really embodied, grippable, experiential astronomy that's going to really enliven your astrology.
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and I think another to your point also, Linea, is that being able to convey this information in person, in 3D space with each other, and being able to ask people to draw with their hand, their pointer finger, draw the big circle of the ecliptic in person. Let's all do it together. In
Mhm.
class, online, on Zoom, like we are right now, in order to have a conversation about what we're seeing in the sky, what each person is seeing in the sky. They might be in different parts of the world. We've had our, when you teach a course, a lot of times people are from all over the place, and everybody, they can't share their visual experience except in a discussion forum with photographs. Whereas when you're in person, you get to experience the same thing together and just be there and understand it and have those kind of epiphany moments where something clicks and something makes sense. And to be able to have those experiences together just is such a great vibration to share together.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
completely agree.
Right.
Yeah.
And I do remember I've been teaching for a long, long time. This was quite a few years ago, but I had a student. He was so excited. He wrote me an email or called me. I can't remember now. He says, I get it. I get it. He says, I was outside and I saw it and the sun had gone down and I saw that the moon was like right there. And I thought, that is like a seventh house or an eighth house moon. And so I ran inside and I drew up the chart, and there was the moon in the eighth house. And he was so excited, that what was in the sky, he could anticipate what it would look like in the chart. And then when he double checked himself, oh, he was so proud and he was so happy. And those are the kind of experiences that we really want you to have with
Yeah.
our in-person astronomy class. I mean, like in the body,
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to
And
see
plus,
Mercury one time and it was very body for me. It was like, wow. In Tucson, actually. Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome. Were we together down there, Mandi Rae?
Yeah.
We were,
Uh-huh.
yeah, yeah. I was just on an Alaskan cruise with Ann Orderly. She had a group of people going on an Alaska cruise, it was Astro Cruise, and it was the second to last morning before we came back to Seattle, and it was just after sunset, and lo and behold, there was Mercury in the out of the beams, so it was
Yeah.
visible. But not only was it visible, but Linea had just shared with me that there's a phenomenon that happens with Mercury where the blast of the sun's rays, something like this, can um, shoot off the sulfur that's on the surface of Mercury or something like that. And that creates, it looks like a trail behind Mercury, like it looks like a comet. And I was seeing it with my naked eye
Oh,
right there.
Wow.
man.
And you really don't see Mercury very often. It's the most elusive visible planet.
It
I,
is.
it's hilarious. I mean, for the longest time, well, I lived at this apartment in San Francisco that had an ocean view. Okay, it had this stellar view, and I learned so much about the planets just by watching, the things out over the ocean for the longest time. And so this one time, it was like one of the most powerful astronomy experiences I've ever had, because there was a big conjunction, Jupiter and Venus, I think, bright planets out there. Okay, and they could see they were about to go down. And I was standing there looking at them out the window, and I just had the physical sensation. It was like, oh, the planets are not moving. The the horizon is crawling up to meet them. I mean, I almost fell backwards. It was like
Yeah, that's the best.
I was like, oh no,
Yeah,
that's
when you
what's
have
happening. The
those,
planets are just there. It's the Earth that is moving, that's hiding them. I mean, it was really, I mean, this is 25 years ago probably now. It's a really, really memorable, experience. It was like, oh, those planets are not moving. It's us that's
Yeah.
moving,
yeah,
So
Oh, what a wonderful, wonderful experience. And actually, I was thinking because when I saw Mercury, I was scratching my head. I was like, where was Mercury when I saw it? But I do remember the fact that the sun has to be down, what, 15 degrees below the horizon or something like that before the twilight or nautical twilight goes away.
yeah, there's all these
yeah,
definitions about how far away the sun is from the horizon, and there's these different, iterations, we might say, of twilight. So yeah,
Hmm.
phases of
yeah.
twilight. Yeah, they're about 6 degrees apiece. But they
Yeah.
But
but they stretch as you go north up the globe or south down the globe.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
and the other super important element of that, if you're looking at a planet, is how bright is the planet? Okay,
Right.
because Venus and Jupiter are bright no matter where they are, pretty much. But like we say, Mercury is always going to be very, dim and hard to find in the,
Hmm.
lost in the horizontal glare there. So
This conjunction, it's just going to be so cool. And I wish, well, maybe I still will be able to go. I think everyone should be teased enough just looking at the chart, knowing that you might be able to see Mercury and Mars together after
right.
sunset here. It's just going to be a really cool experience. And then sunrise as well with Jupiter and Venus up in the sky. It's just a beautiful experience
and
to see
then
those bright
yeah,
planets.
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
we're
yeah,
and
yeah.
the retreat takes place during a double grand trine, a grand water trine, and a grand air trine. So
Yeah,
it's
it's just beautiful.
super fun.
And one thing we should mention, because the 8-week course, is I love to say, it's not woo woo. Okay. I mean, it
Hmm.
is chock full, and it is, serious. I'm going to say, I mean, not so serious, but it's like, you have to think, you have to study, you
Yeah,
have to do homework, in this group. So in our 4 days, together in Park City, we're not going to have the opportunity to go over all the information in the class. There's just simply too much information and not enough time. But one of the advantage of signing up for the Astronomy for Astrologers course at this retreat is that you will get the recordings from our class last year.
Oh,
You get
wow.
all of the recordings. So that's a
Okay.
really great bonus right there,
huge
because
bonus.
between those two things, you absolutely will be able to sit for the OPA astronomy test and pass it. And that's a really, for some people, that's a big hurdle to their OPA certification. So between coming to this course and reviewing all the information from our 8-week course last year, you will be armed and ready to pass that portion of the certification process.
Yeah,
Yes.
I really think it's the best deal available for the retreat, and not to, toot the astronomy for astrologers horn for me and Linea here, but it really is that opportunity to retreat, to be able to receive all the recordings from last year's course, in
Yeah.
addition to being in person with everyone at this beautiful resort, is going to
Hmm.
be awesome.
Hmm.
And something I have to say about both of you is that you both really love it, and that matters. I mean, you both really are just charismatic about it, and you can tell that you love it and that you truly enjoy the actual material, the subject matter.
Yeah.
And I think, it's sort of astronomy is almost a lost art. Not obviously there's astronomers as a job out there, but I mean, as far as maybe a lay person or someone who may just be interested in sky watching, it is something that people don't maybe connect with as much. And if you're someone who is into astrology and you're wanting to get certified, it is just a, like you said, a felt body experience. It's an experience where you can go out and you can almost see the chart in the sky, just like you can see the sky in the chart, and
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
something that just feeds back on itself. And you guys are both really wonderful at conveying that information. So I think if people are on the fence about coming to this retreat, and we haven't really sold it yet, but here's the selling point: come to the retreat and go. Even if you don't take astronomy for astrologers, maybe you've already taken it and you're thinking about coming to the retreat, you can always go hang out with Geoff and Linea at the
Right,
retreat.
right. Because we'll be having, nighttime affairs, early morning affairs. If you're an early riser, great. If
Yeah.
you're staying up late, great. We've got something for you.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
I think, not only, there's a lot to sell. It's not hard to sell this resort. The resort is absolutely beautiful. And I'll let you, or I mean, Mandi Rae, I'll let you share some more about that. But I wanted to also just convey that our retreat track is not necessarily for experienced or even professional astrologers by any means. You could come with a very basic knowledge of astrology and still get a lot out of what we're going to teach, because it's really, we're not teaching astrology, we're teaching astronomy,
Hmm.
and there's virtually no woo-woo, if you will, like Linea likes to say,
Hmm.
going to be involved. It's really just starting with the basics and bringing in gradually some more complex, uh, uh, you know,
Yeah.
Principles
trying to
and
say, yeah, thank
concepts.
you.
Yeah.
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 Concepts, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Absolutely.
easier to convey those concepts in person than it is
Hmm.
on a computer.
It
So,
is.
Hmm.
And the
Right.
experience of this is like no other retreat. And I don't say that to denigrate or talk about other retreats in any sort of, light that this is better, but it is different and it's wonderful because you get to have this community with OPA, the Organization for Professional Astrology. It is really an organization of a bunch of people who just really love astrology and who really
Hmm.
want to make it a better profession, who want to be certified, who want to have this. Maybe there's not really an oversight as much as there is, everyone is pitching in to decide, this is, for instance, the ethics that we should have, and this is, for instance, the things we should know, like astronomy, and if you're a part of it, you're a member and you're a part of that process. And so I think that that's what this retreat offers as far as the experience goes, that is a little different from other retreats that you could go to, is you're very much a part of this organization, and it's a
Hmm.
group, it's a community. By the way, I got the dates wrong at first. It's October 15th through 19th. I thought for some reason it was
Hmm.
3 days, but it's five, sort of. You return home on day 5.
yeah, the classes are going to be 16, 17, 18. We
That's
arrive,
it.
welcome
Hmm.
dinner on the 15th, and
Hmm.
everybody says goodbye on a Sunday morning. So,
Yes, and you do
Hmm.
want to get there for the welcome because that's
yeah,
that's also fun. It's
it
Hmm.
kind
is.
of a mixer. You get to hang out, and yeah, this place, New Park Resorts, and Linea and already said it before we were recording, but the Utah in the fall is beautiful. And
Hmm.
I kind of wondered because I went last year and I was like, oh, am I going to get the golden colors? And I totally did. Right outside of my room, there was
Hmm.
a golden aspen tree. And I was like, oh my
Nice.
goodness, this is amazing. So I think that these dates are really good. If you do love fall foliage and nature, you're going to really love New Park Resorts. Um, and there's
Yeah,
a
and
spa.
what? Yeah, the spa. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
No,
off.
you're fine.
Yeah, the spa is beautiful. Almost every suite and townhouse has a hot tub. So you have your own private hot tub if you get the suite at least, and there's different rooms available. But what's so nice about OPA retreats in particular, as opposed to a conference, if you will, is that they're smaller, they're intimate, and each track can only have maximum of 9 participants,
Hmm.
which is 10 with the speaker or the teacher. So you really get to know this small group of people well over a 3-day period, and it's really a bonding experience. And that we've just OPA's received reviews and over and over about how special their retreats can be.
Hmm. And the main difference between the OPA retreats and other retreats is the in-depth learning
Yeah,
possibilities, because all other conferences, it's you go to this lecture, you have a 20-minute break, you go to a next lecture, you have a 20
yeah,
minute break, you go to another lecture. So it's more like a bee, going to different flowers, okay, and
yeah,
getting the nectar. But with us, no, you're staying with the same group of people, whether you're doing the counseling, component, or the peer group, component, or the astronomy component. You're with the same group and you're talking deeply, deeply about a subject. So the depth at which you can go, the breadth of the experience is just much, much broader, without flitting around to, 7 different subjects. You
yeah,
just stay on the same subject and are able to really dive much more deeply into that. So,
Yeah. And
mhm.
you can pick a subject too that you've had interest in for a long time, just never had time to study, and so that's another thing
yeah.
I like about it. I got to take health with Kira last year,
Oh,
and
yeah,
Was that
that
the
was
health? Was that
amazing.
the health thing?
yeah.
Yes.
She's so good. She's
He's
really
so
good.
good.
Kira Sutherland. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
So any track like that, you get to dive into it, and it may be 3 days, but then you come back, you go, okay, well, I'm going to study more because that was awesome, or
yeah,
whatever. But yeah, you get to know people, and even if you're maybe, for instance, taking a peer group or astronomy for astrologers, and you're trying to do your certification, you will still have time to hang out with everyone and other track leaders and other people who are I guess just leading any sort of class there you can hang out with. We do dinners and
yeah. You can sign up for a dinner with a track leader. Like you can, even if you're in me and Lene's class, you can sign up to go out to dinner with Rick Levine or Lynn Bell or Rachel Lang or Celeste Brooks or whomever else is going to be there. So it's a lot of fun to be able to meet other astrologers and meet other colleagues and friends. I mean, who doesn't love to go to an astrology conference, and much less an astrology retreat where it's a little smaller and you can really hang out a lot.
Hmm.
yeah, I started giggling because you said Rick's name, and I just have a story from last year it might even pertain to astronomy for astrologers because I had my band with me. I'd been on tour, and we ended up in Park City. We played for the conference. That was fun. Um, but my harmonica player, I walked in. We all roomed with Rick Levine, and I walked in to see Rick Levine teaching my harmonica player about Mercury retrograde with 2 cans of beans.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
just
good. I remember
moving the
that story.
beans
Yeah.
around.
Hmm.
And so little things like that you'll come away with, and it's really
And
heart
those are
lifting.
the benefits of teaching astronomy in person.
That's
I want to
right.
know how he was
Cans of
teaching with
beans.
Mercury retrograde with cans of beans.
That's
You
right.
just
That's
can't
right.
do that on the computer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. You really can't. Oh, I
And
love it.
Linea and I have lots of fun. We're playful, we're energetic, and I think we work really well together. And I think a lot of people have a lot of fun hanging out with us.
Yeah,
So
we both have sun moon trines. There are different
yes,
elements and everything, but we do have that, and our charts fit together. I think your sun is on my Jupiter or something like that. I mean,
yeah,
we do have some really great connections in our horoscopes, and we do have a whale of a time teaching together. It's a lot of fun, and that's always
yeah,
a main comment from the student feedback. Great
yeah.
teacher, so fun.
I love
So
it. You
so
guys are. You're fun to interview too.
exactly.
So are you, Mandi Rae. We're
Yeah.
just so fun. Let's all just have fun.
Let's bring out our harmonicas.
Yeah, I know,
Yeah,
right?
beans and
Oh,
harmonicas.
so
Well, we
let me
totally, we totally hope that you're going to come and join us and get some, and some, what is the phrase that we developed? Some astronomical epiphanies.
I
Yeah.
Okay.
know. Yes. And I was going to show because you can go sign up. I think there's early bird until advanced pricing through September 1st. So is sort of early bird pricing. And after that, the price goes up. So just something to note if you're thinking about it. And you can go to opaastrology.org to find this. So if you are interested, like Linea was saying, for a whale of a time, I'm interested in it, and I've already taken astronomy for astrologers, so I might still come. But yeah,
You can learn a lot the second time around. Okay.
Yeah.
telling
I've
you,
had
I
lots of
need a
people.
brush
I
up.
had to develop a price, category for people who were taking a class multiple times. So yeah.
Yeah, and it's the kind of information you might want to revisit. I mean, honestly, because you can get turned around really easy with astronomy and forget what azimuth is, and
Yeah,
whether.
no, I mean that's actually, a really good point, and that's
Mhm,
why we make a effort to say this is not woo-woo. I mean, this class requires study. There
mhm,
there is no way you're going to get this the first time. I mean, for my own self, when I was learning this stuff 30, 40 years ago, it definitely took multiple sessions.
mhm,
It's not a thing that you get the first time. It's a
mhm,
thing that you get really deeply by sitting down multiple times and studying it over a period of
mhm.
time. So,
And
Yeah.
just thinking, just sitting and thinking and trying to visualize, conceptualize these concepts and these three-dimensional spheres and the circles. It's really it takes some work, but it's
it's
really exciting
definitely
work.
brain exercise. It's brain
Yeah.
Yeah.
exercise, and you're just like any muscle. It gets easier, once you do it. And like so, if you're rotating charts in your mind and moving the sun from the ascendant to the descendant, well, that's a lot easier the third or fourth or fifth time, and then pretty soon it's like, oh, it's like not even you don't even have to think about it.
Mhm.
You're just are doing it. So yeah.
And then you'll be the person people are like, "What is that in the sky right now, Mandi?" That's what I get a lot. Hey,
Yeah.
Mandi,
Yeah,
what is
yeah.
that in the
What is
sky?
that?
I
Yeah.
know you know.
And
I'm
you can
making
pretty much
fun of
always say, "Oh, that's Venus."
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a spaceship.
It's
It's
not a
Venus.
spaceship. Oh gosh. Years ago when we had one of those Mars, like Mars was like, 6 feet closer than it's ever been, in all history. And it was like incredibly,
It
bright and
was.
visible out there in the evening sky. So my boyfriend, later my husband, he had a roommate, Jim Davis, who came and he says, Linea, he goes, there is a spaceship up there. There's a space. It's red. I go, Jim, that is not a spaceship. That is Mars. That cannot be Mars. Okay, Mars is not that bright or that big. I'm like, right now,
It
it
is.
It
is.
is.
Okay, right. But if you've been watching Resident Alien, anybody watching Resident Alien, you will know that Mars is not a planet. It is it's a space station where people go, and then and I'm forgetting the word, where it's like you
They
go to there
dock.
and then you go somewhere else.
A
Yeah, it's like,
depot.
yeah.
A
Now I can't
depot.
remember the word of it anywhere. Anyway, I
I love it.
digress. So,
I love that though. And I
yeah.
mean, I remember when Mars was really close, and I guess the really wonderful thing about this specific time period is because it's so dark and it's a little closer to the sky. And I was, kind of making fun of the Southern accent. I'm allowed to because I have one. But you get to go higher in elevation and you are thereby closer to the stars. So you get
Closer
to
Yeah.
to the
see it.
gods. Right.
Whereas I'm definitely not here at 600 feet in Alabama, but I
Right.
could go to Park City and see it just that much clearer. And it's close to a new moon.
Yeah,
It is. It
it's
is. So we were looking at that. It's like, oh well, if we're going to look at the moon, we got to get out in the early morning here,
Mhm.
before the sun comes up. So we did take a look at that also. So
yeah, it'll be a waning Virgo moon pretty much through the retreat, and it'll be heading towards a waning crescent. So it's definitely going to be dark all night. Saturn will be out
mhm.
after sunset, hopefully Mercury and Mars.
And some good constellations too. I mean, this is
Yeah, for
this is a good
sure.
time, because we'll see Orion. Orion is a winter constellation just starting to come up in the evening. So we'll be able to locate some good stars too. So
Yeah.
Oh,
Mil-
that's
great.
so
Milky Way.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, the Milky Way.
Yes.
Yeah.
That it really is an amazing thing to see. I was in Chaco Canyon several years ago, which is a dark sky park, I believe.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I stepped out just in the morning. I had to use the bathroom, and I almost like you said, fell backwards just because of the amount of it was just I can't really describe what it felt like to
Yeah.
see the Milky Way that bright and that many stars. And
Hmm.
it's an experience that you definitely have to put on your bucket list. And this is
Yep.
one that if you're an astrologer trying to get a certification, you can check off a bunch of these things, right?
You
So
you
Yeah,
can
for
do.
sure.
Yep.
I
Yep.
love it.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys. Do you have anything else to share before we are closing out this informative interview?
I mean, basically, this is a really rare opportunity to be able to learn astronomy in person from some
Yeah.
really, fun and knowledgeable teachers. And so if you have any, you know, glisten of an interest, in it, this is a really great opportunity, cost effective because you get our entire last class as well as this hands-on, learning, wild gesticulations and loads of night of sky watching
Mhm.
and lots of fun and a really memorable time.
Yeah, and we won't be doing this in person for probably at least about a year and a half, 2 years because of UAC, and so this is an opportunity, a rare opportunity, kind of, and it's funny that we're so used to nowadays teaching online has become normal, and teaching in person has been a rarity, and so
Hmm.
unfortunately it's flip-flopped, right? It didn't used to be that way, but
Hmm.
here we are, and so this is an opportunity to just be in person, and it's a special experience. And OPA retreats are so beautiful. So please join us. We'd love to have you. And if you like Linea said, even a glistening inkling of an interest in doing this, just pull the trigger and don't worry that Mercury's retrograde. It loves you.
Hmm.
I agree. I agree. And it's opastrology.org if you're interested. Don't forget the early bird pricing ends September 1st. And with that, I'll leave you. I'm Mandi Rae. My own business is ecstaticastrology.com. Geoff, how can people find you?
GeoffGronlund.com. I'm up in Maine, and Linea. Oh yeah.
Astrologeratlarge.com.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have all
I
that in the
love it.
comments as well so that people can find you guys. But with that, I am with OPA, the Organization for Professional Astrology. So is Geoff and Linea, and we hope to see you in Park City. And if you're interested and can't make Park City, please check out the online version.
Yeah. Thanks,
Thank you
Mandi Rae.
guys. Appreciate you
Thanks.
guys.